Hi, this is Robbie Krieger with The Doors from the Inside, and we're back in 1971.
Jack Holzman, founder and still president of Elektra Records in 1971.
In 1971, the unauthorized release of the Pentagon Papers further solidified opposition to the Vietnam War, and de-escalation seriously began.
We give them money, but are they grateful? No, they're spiteful and they're hateful. They don't respect us, so let's surprise them. We'll drop the big one and pulverize them.
The first close-up pictures of Mars, the fabled red planet, were transmitted by the Mariner space probe.
The 26th Amendment to our Constitution lowered the voting age to 18.
Bill Graham closed down the Fillmore East in New York and the Fillmore West in San Francisco,
thus officially ending the era of the rock ballrooms. Also in 1971, the Doors were to record their final album. While most groups make their garage album first, the Doors made theirs last, and it was clear that they wanted to do something different. They trimmed studio production down to the very essence of their music. Like all garage band records, L.A. Woman was self-produced, with a co-production assist from Bruce Botnick, who had engineered all their previous albums.
Bill Siddons explains that L.A. Woman was both rehearsed and recorded in the Doors' office. When session time came around, furniture was moved and sound-deadening blankets were tacked to the walls.
In fact, the console was on my desk. I would work during the day, they'd come in at work at night and use my office as the control room. And the echo chamber was the bathroom. It was a very kind of visceral record that way. They intentionally made it closer to the bone and didn't go for the high-tech stuff. They had been high-teched out with the Soft Parade album, and they hated Take 35.
John Densmore.
The really outrageous thing is that L.A. Woman was done on 8-track. Morrison Hotel, the album before, was done on 16. We denied technology. I mean, that's crazy. It was Bruce Botnick, the engineer, who suggested it. I don't think he even knew how brilliant that was.
Bruce Botnick.
The thing always was to go for a performance with them because they were a performing band. Didn't lay down the drums and then put the bass and then put the guitar and then put the organ. One of the reasons it connects with people is because it is performance. It's one voice.
I think L.A. Woman is kind of like the first punk album. If the passion is there and you hit a few wrong notes, it's all right.
Jim Morrison.
Usually we rehearse a couple weeks, a month, until we have a considerable amount of material, and then we go in and do it. On this new album, it's really strange. It went really quick, you know. We went in and we got like a song a day, which is kind of unusual. It was funny, the first album we did in about 10 days. And then each succeeding album took longer and longer till the last one took about 9 months to do. On this one, we went in and we got a song a day. It was amazing. Partly because we went back to the original instrumentation, just the four of us and a bass player.
Jim's friend and fellow poet, Michael C. Ford.
A poet doesn't just hand his work over to people. And Diane Gardner was a recipient of a bulk of his work. L.A. Woman is Los Angeles, but Diane Gardner was a magnet for the concept of L.A. Woman.
Diane could always make him laugh.
Somewhere and stashed away, I've got some stuff that he wrote for me that appeared to be written for me, that later on appeared in his last album. I mean, who knows, maybe he went to everybody's house and did that, just to make them feel good or something.
So alone.
With poets of large reputation like Jim, the tea leaf readers and the metaphor police are continually sifting through their language, mining for significance, and L.A. Woman is a perfect wide-spectrum metaphor.
Bill Siddons recalls Jack Holzman's comments upon first hearing the album L.A. Woman.
Lover Madly is a top 5 record. Riders on the Storm will get more FM airplay than any record in history. Song by song, exactly what ultimately happened. And the Doors said, wait a minute, we think The Changeling is the single. That's what we want out.
Jim Morrison.
Every time we make a choice for a single, it usually turns out wrong. I don't think we really have the key to the pulse of the nation.
Changeling was our salute to James Brown. I particularly had always loved James Brown, so I kind of did the James Brown horn thing on my guitar, and it came out pretty good. We all liked it a lot. In fact, we thought it should be a single.
Guys, it's not a hit. Lover Madly is a hit. That's what we should go with. And they said no, and that took us about 2 weeks to get them to agree to go with the obvious hit.
Don't you love her madly? Don't you need her badly? Don't you love her way? face. Tell me what you say. Don't you love her madly? Wanna be her daddy? Don't you love her face? Don't you love her as she's walking out the door? Like she did 1,000 times before. Don't you love her ways? Tell me what you say. Don't you love her as she's walking out the door? All your love, all your love, all your love, all your love, all your love is gone. So sing a lonely song of a deep blue dream. 7 horses seem to be on the mark. Yeah, don't you love her? Don't you love her as she's walking out the door? All your love, all your love, all your love. Yeah, all your love is gone. So sing a lonely song of a deep blue dream. 7 horses seem to be on the mark. Don't you love her madly? Don't you love her madly? Don't you love her madly?
This is Jack Holzman. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more of The Doors from the inside.
What do some morning television viewers do that you don't do? Or maybe you do, only you do differently. Do they watch CBS This Morning with Kathleen Sullivan and Harry Smith? If they do, then they may do better than you do when it comes to knowing what's doing. Do you know why? At CBS This Morning, we do what we have to do to give you a more in-depth view of what's new. Do our viewers know something you don't? Chances are they do. Watch CBS This Morning, weekdays on the CBS Television Network. You always know when it's CBS News.
Greyhound, you'll always take me home for the holidays.
Let Greyhound take you home this holiday season, and you can still take advantage of low holiday money saver fares everywhere Greyhound goes. Some restrictions apply. Call Greyhound for details.
Greyhound, you'll always take me home for the holidays.
This holiday season, Greyhound is going home.
Can't come sentimental, but that's alright by me. They're smooth and cool, they're major league. Those musketeers, those dreams. Those bars are big on chocolate. Chocolate out to here. It's hard to keep them under wraps. Those 3
Hi, this is Ray Manzarek, and you'll be hearing The Doors from the inside. Jack Holtzman.
For Elektra, L.A. Woman was a bonus album. The Doors' original obligation to record 6 LPs had been fulfilled, and although I was eager to re-sign them, another long-term contract was more than the group could emotionally handle, so we settled on the next best thing. We'd do one more LP together and give each other some breathing room. Jim spoke of his need for change.
I just don't have the desire to get up and sing much. I kind of lost my interest for it.
Michael C. Ford.
The only thing left for Morrison was self-imposed exile. He evicted himself from the Morrison Hotel.
Bill Siddons.
It was a record that Jim made as his swan song and said, "This is it, I've done it, I'm out of here," and moved to Paris.
The cars hiss by my window like the waves down on the beach. The cars hiss by my window like the waves down on the beach. I got this girl beside me, but she's out of reach. Headlight through my window, shining on the wall. Headlight through my window, shining on the wall. Can't hear my baby, though I call and call. Windows started trembling with a sonic boom. Windows started trembling with a sonic boom. Boom. A cold girl'll kill you in a darkened room. band'll teach you how to find yourself. L'America.
After the completion of L.A. Woman, Jim and I went out for dinner. He seemed pleased with the album because it blended tight, spare instrumental passages with some of the richest lyrics he had ever written. But I sensed a mood shift. So that when Jim took off for Paris that spring of 1971, I and a number of us had the sense that the Doors as a group with Jim Morrison was probably history. But none of us were prepared to see him leave the planet so abruptly.
Riders on the storm.
Stay with us for more of the Doors from the inside as we recall in detail the unusual circumstances surrounding Jim's death.
Hiya, Bubby. You say the last used car you bought was a low-mileage car? It could never go more than 10 miles every 6 months. And the car was in repair so often, the mechanic dedicated a wing of his shop in your name. And somebody stole it from in front of your house, but then they returned it with a sympathy note. And it wasn't listed in the used car section. You found it in the obituaries. When you buy a used car from Avis, you know you're getting a late model, well-maintained, well-equipped used car. And best of all, at Avis Car Sales, you're buying from the owner. You say once you got it up to 60 miles an hour, that's when you shoved it off a cliff? Avis, we try harder to make it easier.
Hi, this is Robbie Krieger, and you are listening to The Doors from the Inside.
Jack Holzman.
The story of Jim's death is a tale of surrealistic lines of communication crossing 8 time zones. The first rumors of a possible heart attack came to Clive Selwood, Electra's head of European operations.
I recall getting a call from a national newspaper in England saying that there was a strong rumor that Jim had died in Paris, France, and did I have any news about it? And of course it was a shock to me, so I called the American Embassy in Paris, but they had no record of same. So I was fairly comforted by this fact, but nevertheless felt that I should put a call through to Doors manager Bill Sittons and at least acquaint him of this rather unpleasant rumors. And my call woke Bill.
The phone rang, my wife sat bolt upright in bed and said, "Something's happened to Jim." And it was Clive telling me that he had heard that Jim had died. Did I know anything? I finally got Pamela on the phone, and she broke down and started to cry and said, "You're right, okay, he died."
O great creator of being, grant us one more hour to perform our art and perfect our lives. We live, we die, and death not ends it.
Jim's death went unreported all that weekend. He was last seen on Friday evening, July 2nd, on his way to the movies by himself, and that is the only point on which everyone agrees. Early in the morning of Saturday, July 3rd, Pamela came back to their Paris apartment and found Jim, smiling but still, his body in a tub of cold water. Pamela hurriedly called her friends French film directors Agnès Varda and her husband Jacques Demy. With Pamela, they orchestrated Jim's last public moments. They located a coffin which turned out to be far too small, and they notified the American embassy that an American poet, whom they didn't identify, had died. Since it was a long holiday weekend, news of Jim's death didn't spread as quickly as it might have. There was no autopsy, No hospital report, and Jim's coffin was sealed. Yet the naval attaché at the American Embassy in Paris did confirm to Jim's father, a naval flag officer, that indeed he was certain that Jim had died. It wasn't until the following Monday, July 5th, that the French authorities finally became involved. In all official documents, Pamela was listed as Jim's friend. And according to American Embassy procedures, Jim's canceled passport and personal effects were sent to the next of kin, his father. Jim's attorney, Max Fink, recalls.
Pamela called me from Paris to tell me that he had passed away. I then tried to help out by making some arrangements for him to be buried in this little special cemetery that seems to be reserved for the great poets and writers and artists of France, where he is buried.
If there is a single song that captures Jim's view of the world and his palpable sense of impermanence and perishability, that would be Riders on the Storm. A compelling narrative, an anthem of inevitability, a rite of passage through which each of us passes perfectly.
Riders on the storm, riders on the storm. Into this house we're born, into this world we're thrown. Like a dog without a bone and packed around alone. Riders on the storm. There's a killer on the road. His brain is squirming like a toad. Take a long holiday. Let your children play. If you give this man a ride, sweet family will die. Killer on the road. Yeah. Girl, you gotta love your man. Girl, you gotta love your man. Take him by the hand. Make him understand. The world on you depends. Our life will never end. Gotta love your man. Riders on the storm. Riders on the storm. Into this house we're born. Into this world we're thrown. Like a dog without a bone, an actor out on loan. Riders on the storm. Riders on the storm. Riders on the storm. Riders on the storm. Riders on the storm.
Jim's death was not the kind of secret that could be kept for long, and we at Elektra dealt with our grief privately and determined to see that when the news did come out, the story would be treated with dignity. We wanted to avoid the circus atmosphere that had surrounded both the deaths of Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin.
Got to Paris at 6 a.m. the next morning and went to the apartment. And Jim's casket was in the apartment, which was very unnerving. And there were a number of people who were helping out. And Pamela had talked to Agnes, and they used their friends to make sure that Jim's death was reported as the death of an unknown American poet.
Pamela left Paris immediately after Jim's interment, flew to San Francisco, and mourned in seclusion with Diane Gardner. Although Jim probably died near dawn on Saturday, July 3rd, news of his death did not cross the Atlantic until late Wednesday, July 7th.
Death makes angels of us all and gives us wings where we had shoulders smooth as ravens' claws.
The final chapter in our story of the Doors from the inside in just a moment.
I needed money for college, and I found it as a military policeman in the Army Reserve.
I know I'm gonna make it, no matter what it takes.
Join a nearby Army Reserve unit, and if you qualify for the GI Bill, that and your pay over a standard enlistment can add up to over $18,000.
Be all that you can be in the Army Reserve.
Learn more. Call 1-800-USA-ARMY. Paid for by the U.S. Army Reserve.
I'm a serious woman with long black hair. No time to waste. You make your play. You ask her name. She asks you to stay. You threw the dice. They came up too. For taking a chance. For coming through. This spot's for you. Your hand is steady. Your aim is true. For taking a shot. For coming through. This spot's for you.
Coming through for you, Beechwood aged
for the taste. So clean, so crisp, so refreshing. It's the king of beers.
For coming through, this Bud's for you.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
This Bud, this Bud, this Bud's for you.
What do some morning television viewers do that you don't do? Or maybe you do, only you do differently. Do they watch CBS This Morning with Kathleen Sullivan and Harry Smith? If they do, then they may do better than you do when it comes to knowing what's doing. Do you know why? At CBS This Morning, we do what we have to do to give you a more in-depth view of what's new. Do our viewers know something you don't? Chances are they do. Watch CBS This Morning, weekdays on the CBS Television Network. You always know when it's CBS News.
I'm Jack Holzman, and this is The Doors from the Inside. 2 decades later, The Doors still capture our ears and fascinate us with their gripping lyrics and a musical energy that combines classical and blues themes with a cinematic sense of scope, blending diverse, even risky elements into a unity so powerful, direct, and full of grace that every Doors track sounds freshly minted and relevant to this day.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, now touch me, babe.
You're lost, little girl.
Pamela Curzon died in 1974 at the age of 27.
You're lost, little girl.
Jim Morrison continues to live through his recordings, his writings, and of course our memories. A book of his newly discovered poems titled Wilderness has recently been published in paperback by Villard Random House. And let us hope that Jim's Irish pixie nature is near us in that next dimension, conjuring up yet another cosmic shenanigan. Bill Siddons remains an artist manager whose roster of clients include David Crosby and Graham Nash. Paul Rothchild produced Janis Joplin's final great album, Pearl, and produced the album and soundtrack of Bette Midler's The Rose. His most recent soundtrack recording is Rude Awakening. Bruce Botnick has continued his thriving engineering career and owns and directs Digital Magnetics, a supplier of high-quality post-production services for the record and video industries. Because of intense interest in everything the Doors recorded, Elektra, working with the group and continuing their productive association with both Paul Rothchild and Bruce Botnick, has repeatedly gone back to the tape vaults and just about cleaned them out of everything releasable. However, there is one unfinished epic, a long soliloquy set within an instrumental that is one of the street's hottest bootlegs. The original of Rock is Dead was skillfully recorded, and this rough mix merely hints at things that could come.
I got a few things on my chest, I gotta get them off. Now listen, 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 listen. Now I don't want to hear no talk about no revolution. And I swear to God, I don't want to hear no talk about no constitution. And in my frame of mind, I am in no mood for no talk about no cremation. The only thing I'm interested in, I want to have a good time. I don't want to hear no talk about no riots, no demonstrations, no calcitrations, no impablermations. There's only one thing I want to see. That's some dancing. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have a good time. Let's roll. As long as I got breath, the death of rock is the death of me, and rock is Well, I'll tell you a story of whiskey and mystics and men. Da-da-da. And about the believers and how the whole thing began. Da-da-da. I am a death bird, naughty night bird, bird of prey, flying high, flying high. Am I going to die? Bird of prey, flying high, flying high. Take me on your flight.
Ray Manzarek always wanted to include Albinoni's haunting adagio in a Doors LP, but it never seemed to fit. The track was eventually included in An American Prayer and the Doors video, Dance on Fire. This 6-hour Doors special was an act of love by all of us who participated. We are honored to have been part of their story and your enjoyment.
After his tenure at Elektra Records, Jack Holzman was chairman of Panavision. He's currently chief technologist of Warner Communications and chairman of Cinema Products Incorporated. Special thanks to Ray Manzarek for his new musical contributions. Ray has published a book and is involved with all the Doors video releases. And on the occasional fortuitous evening, you might catch him accompanying the poet Michael McClure at a cabaret near you. John Densmore is pursuing an acting career and has written a book about his experiences with the Doors.
A special thanks to Robbie Krieger for his new musical contributions and for being our A&R angel. Robbie helped design a new Gibson guitar that bears his name and recently released a compilation album on No Speak Records featuring a new version of Crystal Ship.
The Doors from the Inside was directed by Sandy Gibson. Our program was written by Jack Holzman, Sandy Gibson, and John Flex Fleming. Engineered by Metal McMcCabe. Digital mastering by Bruce Botnick with assistance from Ted Hall. Production coordinator Craig Fisher. Text editor, Gary Garver. Production assistants, Steve Pierce, Ginny Harrington, and Renee Jean Hill. Co-hosted by Anita Gevinson. Special thanks for access to the music libraries and archives of Paul Rothschild, Dr. Demento, Greater Media Radio, Vince Traynor, Danny Sugarman, and Jeannie Cromie. This documentary is distributed by Media America Radio and is a presentation of Valley Isle Productions and Media America Radio. Produced by Sandy Gibson with Jack Holzman. We'll return with our final comments.
Avis believes you should be able to celebrate any holiday you want. Anyone can help you celebrate Christmas, New Year's, 4th of July, Thanksgiving. But how many people will help you to commemorate the groundbreaking for the Panama Canal? Alexander Graham Bell getting his first busy signal. Anyone can celebrate Lincoln's birthday, but what about the day he got his law degree? They're all holidays worth celebrating, and Avis will help. We've got great special rates on well-equipped, clean, low-mileage cars for all your famous, well-established everyday holidays. But we've also got them for many of those special-to-you holidays, like the laying of the last brick in the Great Wall of China, the day 2 Austrian peasants, one tall, one short, made history when they climbed 4 steep flights of narrow, twisting stairs to deliver Mozart's first piano. We'll always try harder to give you a rate to celebrate. Avis, we try harder to make it easier.
Riders on the storm.
Let Jim have the last word, as quoted by publisher-writer Malcolm Forbes from his new book, They Went That Away, a volume devoted to the last days of famous people.
When asked about death, he just shortly before his own, he said, I wouldn't mind dying in a plane crash. It'd be a good way to go. I just don't want to die of old age or OD or drift off in my sleep. I want to feel what it's like. I want to taste it, hear it. Death is only going to happen once. I don't want to miss it. I mean, that's absolutely extraordinary. It's as fine a piece of prose poetry as one will read anywhere.
I'm the Lizard King.